Welcome to This Week Inside Sim Racing, week ending 2011. I'm Jessica Lopez.
Week ending or year ending 2011?
Oh, well, year ending 2011.
We are to the end of the year already, and This Week in Sim Racing is sponsored by iRacing.com, where you can get 3 months for the price of one by going to our website and clicking on any of the iRacing banners you see there.
Yes, you can. And speaking of the year ending, 2012 is nearing, and we have lots to look forward to.
I'm still not done with 2011. We had so many cool things, and it just caught me off guard. We're at the end of the year already.
One of the new titles coming out in 2012 is by Kunos Simulazioni, same makers of Netcar Pro and Ferrari Virtual Academy. And this title is called Assetto Corsa. It's a PC-based title with all of the cars and tracks laser scanned, and it will also allow for customization and modification to suit the sim racer's needs. It's expected to provide a very realistic driving experience and will offer both single and multiplayer modes.
And this is something that I'm very excited, we're all excited about, coming from Netcar Pro and Ferrari Virtual Academy. I mean, this is a completely new effort. I mean, they are going kind of like RFactor-ish. You're going to have a lot of modding involved in it, and this is something I'm really excited to see how it's going to turn out when it comes out.
And speaking of RFactor-ish, RFactor 2, which is another title coming out in 2012, has released a new video, which is previewing their beta phase.
And this is something I thought they were going to make 2011. It was getting close. I saw a picture at B-Sim Racing, and they had some RFactor 2 glasses, and there's actually a quote by John Samai saying, well, looks like we better get RFactor 2 out already. But looks like it's going to be early 2012, not 2011.
And up to come also in 2012 from iRacing is their World Tour. This will be open to all iRacing members. They're going to start off with 2 different events in January, both taking place at the Daytona International Speedway Road Course. The first will be taking place Friday, January 27th, and it's mixed class racing with the Jetta and the Solstice and the Mazda MX-5.
And then the following day, kind of the big race, so that's the race before the race, and then the big race is actually the 2.4-hour event in the Grand Am style, dual class as well, with the prototype and the Ford Mustang GT, which is going to make a really cool combo as well.
So are you and Darren planning on running in these races?
I have to tell you, Daytona Road Course is maybe my all-time favorite racetrack. Darren and I have probably spent more time racing this combination than anything else. We're definitely going to be there doing this. It's likely to have, a few hundred, maybe even 1,000 people involved. And it's open, like you said, to all iRacing members.
Yep, and iRacing is going to be doing events like this throughout the year. And they're also going to be mimicking real-life events such as the Daytona 500 and
Indy 500.
Indy 500.
Yeah.
So this is a very cool event that iRacing is doing.
Yeah, it's a little different. Instead of just a weekly series, it's something you can really prepare for, and just going against that many people is so mumuch fun.
And while we're on the subject of iRacing, the iRacing Pro Race of Champions event, which we did a small recap, or not small, but we did a recap on it on our last show. Well, iRacing has went and done their own recap, which you can catch on their YouTube page.
And this is good. I mean, for those of you out there who didn't know about it, this is when the pro real-life racers like Labonte, Logano, Speed, they went and did some sim racing, and they did it at a high level. I mean, I didn't know if I thought these guys would do that well, but they look like pro sim racers too.
If you'd like to take a look at iRacing's recap, go ahead and head on over to their YouTube page, and we have a link to that here in the description of our show. That's going to lead us to commercial break, and when we return, we'll have some Simrig of the Week, contest winners to announce, and what we went over in 2011.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
Looks like it's all number 41. Working up at a corner number 4, the oval portion of the iRacing Pro Race of Champions goes to Scott Speed.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number 1 on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Welcome back. Next up, we have Simrig of the Week, which is sponsored by Tamiya. But before we get to that, we had a contest, which is the Tamiya F1 2011 contest.
That's right. It's already a little bit old, so we're finally getting to those winners. And in this contest, we had Terry Allen, who's been on the show from time to time, set a lap time at Monza in F1 2011. And it was basically guess his lap time, or kind of guess how many jelly beans are in the jelly bean jar, because I don't know who would predict his lap time. Anyway, he has done that lap, and we have some winners.
Yep, we sure do, and we're giving away some very cool prizes by Tamiya. The winner who guessed the closest lap time of Terry Allen is Mia Hallen, who will be receiving a Ferrari F60, which includes some photo-etched parts and is actually an incredibly highly detailed model. It represents the 2009 F1 car for Ferrari. The random winner is Slavke, and this runner-up wins a Lotus 99 T Honda replica of the 1987 Lotus car that was driven by Ayrton Senna.
So 2 very cool Formula One cars there, and I got to tell you, as a longtime model builder, I've always been a big fan of Tamiya models, really high quality, and congratulations to both of you guys. And send us some pictures when the models are done. I'd like to see how they turn out.
All right, next up, Simrig of the Week, which is sponsored by Tamiya USA, which we mentioned earlier. And this rig is by Matt Reading from Wellington, New Zealand. He's been sim racing since 2005, starting with Live for Speed, and he built this rig out of some spare timber that he found in a newly purchased home.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Just took a pile of junk and turned it into a quality sim rig.
Along with a bag of screws and a $10 seat from a Honda Prelude.
So $10 seat, sounds like you got it at a junkyard, so we're talking the thrifty rig builder here.
Yeah, talk about thrifty, right? And he even built his own bass shaker, which he made himself by removing the cone from an 8-inch speaker and replacing it with some washers and a steel bar, and he runs it through an old stereo.
Very cool. You know, I was reading up on him. Apparently it's hard to get some of the products we talk about on the show, and this guy's just building them himself. I never thought of using a bass shaker. And besides that, it sounds like the kind of thing we should probably do on our show to show everyone how to do it.
He's even built his own projector screen, so now you're talking about a do-it-yourself sim rig with a 9-foot projection screen. Very cool.
Yeah,
awesome,
and again,
right?
all on a low budget. Very well done.
And he even plans on building his own sequential shifter, and he's also added a 5.1 surround sound, so pretty awesome.
Yeah, very awesome. And hey, when you finish that shifter, put some pictures online so we can check that out as well.
We'd love to see your progress. Speaking of sim rigs, someone came by the studio here to bring their sim rig or stand. It's called the Grand Stand. So Bill Craig came to the studio, and Darren and Sean would not let him leave without a little challenge, right?
That's part of coming to the studio now.
And what we're calling the Sim Star in a Sim Car. I don't know if that's the official name, but that's what we're calling it around here.
I think it's official now. The important thing is we put him in iRacing at our test track, Pocono North, in the Mazda MX-5, and just want to see what he could do.
Guys gave him 10 minutes to practice, and here's a video showing you his lap.
Your time, and I'll leave you alone.
Revving it up on pit lane, he dumps the clutch and gets a good start, and away he goes. Running through the gears up to 4th for turn 1, flat out and keeping it wide for turn 2. A nice wide entry for 2 and a touch of the brake. Oh, a bit too much brake. And down for the apex, not bad through there. Setting himself up for turn 3, the nasty left-hander, you got to get it slowed down enough. And he pushes a bit with a little too much brake and wobbles through, not quite making the apex there. Right away into turn 4, the quick right, and again, not bad through here, looking good. And into the left-hander, setting up the backstretch. You should be able to get through here without lifting, and he does. Turn 6 takes us back onto the main track with a tough right-hander. You can see Bill use a bit of a brake and hard back onto the gas, pushing out towards the wall. Nicely done. Building up speed as he goes through Pocono turn 3, running up to 5th gear and heading for the finish line.
Sweet. 103.4. It's a nice start.
So, not bad, 103.496.
Yeah, under the pressure, that's not easy. He had no idea. He had to adjust to our setup and this track he's never been on. Not bad. I mean, not quite in the ballpark of Brian Highcotter with that practically a minute flat, but he is alien extraordinaire, Brian Highcotter.
Well, thank you for being such a good sport, and we'll see who we put on the Sim star in SimCar next time. If you guys like to check out his grandstand, you can go to grandstand.com. We'll be reviewing and taking a look at that in the near future here at Inside Sim Racing.
And thanks, Bill, for coming by and taking part in the whole SimStar Challenge.
That's going to lead us to the end of the show for this week Inside Sim Racing. And we'd like to do a little recap of all the things that we've seen in 2011, which we sure did see a lot, right?
This year was like an explosion in the sim racing world. I mean, on every level, too. If we're talking software, I mean, you're looking at Forza 4, you're looking at GT5 with Spec 2, you're looking at iRacing 2.0, Dirt 3, F1 2011. The list goes on. I'm sure I'm leaving a few off. I mean, in the hardware world, we had new wheels like the Thrustmaster coming onto the market. Looking at old wheels like Logitech, I mean, you had like endless amount of mods that we covered, both to the pedals and to the wheel itself. And then you got gadgets. You got like shifter button boxes, rev lights. This was the explosion in sim racing.
You called it the sim racing boom, and I kind of like that little description. And that just means we have a lot more to look forward to for 2012.
Absolutely. And the other thing that we kind of left out, that's just sort of things we've reviewed on the show. You also have the individuals, the sim racers who are truly becoming the pro sim racers for our world, like Ray Alfala, who's now a NASCAR champion. You've got Hugo Luis, who is the road racing champion who won $10,500. You've got Brian Heitkotter, who, forget money, I would give everything I own to be in this guy's shoes and to be running at Dubai in just a couple weeks coming up here.
So I guess we'd like to wish him good luck in a couple weeks, and also wish everyone out there a happy new year. By the time we see you again, it'll be 2012. And we thank all of you out there for supporting our show and continuing to watch throughout the years, both old viewers and new viewers. And speaking of which, don't forget to go to our website, InsideSimRacing.tv, and become a member.
Sure, you got to get in there, get over to our forum as well. Like you said, be a member. We're going to have some special polls, all sorts of new things, hopefully a bunch of cool things for members only even. So if you're not already, become a member of our forum.
That's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of This Week Inside Sim Racing. I'm Jessica Lopez.
Sean Cole.
Checker flag is out, and so are we. You're so like...
I'm trying to be proper today.
With Momsy. Momsy.
I'm going to be a lot more proper.
Shoulder.
Much more proper for 2012.
Five in the Jetta. And the very next race will be...
Sorry, do that again. I wasn't sure where you were. Yeah, I just didn't know.
And as soon as she says...
Along with a bag of screws and a $10... Sorry. Along that.
When you get that shifter done, put some more pictures on the line. Dot, 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 dot.
Max headroom. Pictures. Oh, short circuit there.
I don't even know where that went wrong. I'll just sequential picture shifter. Yeah. Sequential picture. Pop.
Sequential print.
Oh,
hey, next time he does that, just smack him on the back of the head and it'll come out. Pictures!
Shifter!
Valuable. Ugh.
That was great.
I know.
Yeah.
Rolling!
Can we cut somewhere?